What's up, collectors? Welcome back to Films by Color. Today I'm going to be talking with my friend Connor about his pickups from the most recent Criterion Flash Sale. I've already shared my Flash Sale haul, so if you haven't checked out that video, I'll link it down in the description. But I wanted to check in with Connor because he and I have been talking about Criterion for years now, a couple years, ever since I got into collecting Criterion. And he and I have different interests and different tastes, so I knew his haul would be very different from my haul, and I wanted to share as many movies as I can with you guys on this channel. So I'm going to have a little conversation with him. He's going to share everything he got, and I hope you enjoy it. So here he is, Connor Nielsen. How you doing, buddy?
I'm great. Thank you for having me. It's been a while since I've been on the channel, but still watching a lot of movies, and we're talking back and forth about a lot of them. It's crazy that Oscar season's over, but you know, now it's time to start watching through my Criterion shelf because that was one of my big projects I was doing late last year. And
yeah,
what better way to celebrate than just adding more titles to it?
I know. What better way to add to the never-ending pile that we will never probably finish? But yeah, it's been the same thing for me. I took a break from any classic stuff for a while because I was catching up on all of last year's movies, end of 2022, beginning of this year, and finally finished with all that. Now that the Oscars are over, who cares? We don't need to worry about those movies anymore, and we can go back to checking out some Criterions and other boutique stuff that I've bought and still haven't watched. But yeah, I got 5 things in this flash sale. How many did you pick up?
4 things, 3 regular and then 1 box set.
Nice. Okay, all right. I'm very excited to see those. I will give you most of the floor this evening so you can tell us about what you picked up, and then I'll chime in here and there. I'm sure we'll have some discussion about things. But yeah, just give us a little quick rundown and talk about why you picked up each one.
Yeah, you're there to give me the cane when I need an exit. All right.
Just wrap it up, man.
This first one is spine number 1167. It is a Best Picture nominee from 1934, starring Claudette Colbert, who I believe is from It Happened One Night. Correct me if I'm wrong with that one. And then Louise Beavers, and that is Imitation of Life.
Oh.
I know nothing about this movie except it's nominated for Best Picture. This is a title I came across when I was on one of those trivia websites, and it was, can you name every single film nominated for Best Picture? So I committed basically every single title to memory. The things you do when you're unemployed, everyone. And so when this got announced, my ears perked up. I do try to buy everything that's been nominated for Best Picture. That's obviously an ongoing project.
And problem.
But that's probably a better descriptor.
It's a challenge. We'll just say it's a challenge.
Sure, that's a solid compromise there. Directed by John M. Stahl. I know nothing about it other than the first sentence on the back is melodrama master. Hey, I like melodrama.
There you go.
John M. Stahl brings his exquisite, restraint, and almost spiritually pure visual style to this devastating, enduringly relevant story of mothers and daughters. So,
a mother-daughter movie. How sweet.
Yeah.
No, I know nothing about that either. Is that a newer one that just was released?
Yeah, so the first 3 that I'm going to show are actually all films that I think have been released this year.
Oh, wow.
So they're all pretty new. Yeah, this is spine number 1167, Imitation of Life.
Nice.
Moving on, another Best Picture nominee, this time from 1968. It was beaten by Oliver, but this is widely regarded as one of, if not the best Shakespeare adaptation by a lot of people, and that is Romeo and Juliet.
Nice.
I like how it says the Franco Zeffirelli production. not a Franco Zeffirelli production, the Franco of Romeo and Juliet. I had to watch a little bit of this in high school, as I'm sure a lot of people did. This is one of those kind of important releases that they've done recently because it's famously, I don't think, has gotten a Blu-ray release ever. And it's kind of notorious and famous. Maybe notorious is the wrong word. It's beloved. Like, it's kind of widely seen as like the definitive screen adaptation of a traditional Romeo and Juliet. We don't really go back to, swords and castles when we do Romeo and Juliet. Usually I've seen a lot of contemporary adaptations, like the Baz Luhrmann one, obviously, but there's one from like 2014. Like I see a lot of contemporary versions, but not so much a very traditional one. So excited to check it out.
Yeah, I need castles, man. I need that whole vibe. And you got, you're a huge Shakespeare fan, so you gotta get all those.
Yeah, I do actually like Shakespeare quite a bit. Last year I read Macbeth and Othello, and I really liked both of them. There's just it's like a celebration of the English language, as nutty and wacky as it is. It's just like a way of communicating. You can do some pretty artful stuff with it, and Shakespeare, surprise, surprise, knew his way around the English language quite a bit
and push the limits of it.
Yeah, I mean, I actually recently just got finished writing a play of my own, and
I saw that. That's really cool.
Shakespeare was obviously, an influence because, he wrote these things called plays that we write to this day. Yeah,
and like some people even watch them.
It's nuts, right? Yeah, who knew?
But yeah, there's a lot of Shakespeare in the collection. Do you have all the adaptations in the collection, or most of them?
I think I have all the ones on Blu-ray. I know I have Orson Welles' movies. Well, I think Othello, his Macbeth is an Olive signature release. Okay. And then I have Richard III, but I don't have Henry V because that's just a DVD. And I'd have to go and look through what else they have.
Yeah, you do. I know you picked up the Hamlet DVD when you were here.
That's right, yeah.
So you do have that one.
And then I still need to get Roman Polanski's Macbeth, which I hear is incredible. As much of a scumbag as that guy turned out to be, apparently that film is like kind of shocking for what it was able to get away with. It's the first film he made after his wife was murdered. So yeah, he was of course married to Sharon Tate. So a version of Macbeth that's kind of born out of that kind of tragedy. Like apparently it's a great film. So I want to check that out. Yeah.
Pretty cool.
And then the last standard release I got, anyone who knows me knows on my Mount Rushmore of film directors is David Lynch. And his final film, I don't know if he's ever going to make another film, but his final film as of now is the 2006 film Inland Empire, which... If you're not familiar with the backstory on this release, it's kind of crazy. So
strap in, folks.
Yeah.
Story time with Connor.
All right. Give me the cane, buddy, if I need it. So
I'll play the Oscar music.
You'll do it all in the editing. It's like half the time I'm talking, it'll just make the Jaws music or something. So in 2006, I don't know, maybe it was 04, 05, but David Lynch just started a website, and he became very intrigued by the concept of like digital video and shooting on consumer grade camcorders. He found the early digital video to have similar limitations that very early film did. And so he was using it as just a way of being creative. And he would do a lot of these short films that he would make for his website.
www.creedthoughts.com/creedthoughts.
No, it's funny. www.davidlynch.com.
We got to talk about The Office on this channel at some point.
We do. Anyway, I got to rewatch it. I went to a bar over the weekend. I went to a bar over the weekend, and it was like the Flasher episode of like season 3 or season. Yeah, and like me and my buddy were like, gonna go to a concert that night. We were just like looking at it silently playing on the wall, and we were like just reciting the dialogue at it because we both knew that episode very well.
That's awesome.
Oh, Office is great. So anyways, what ended up happening is David Lynch began shooting some shorts, and then he was starting to put them together and realized that there was uniting ideas between several of them. And then this thing that just began as a series of kind of disparate short films grew into a narrative. And that is Inland Empire, which is a 3-hour shot on digital video camcorder film starring Laura Dern. It looks rough, as you would imagine. That being said, it looks a lot better than you think it looks. I actually kind of like the way it looks, even though it is ugly, but it does demonstrate just the fundamentals of good filmmaking, like where he understands that whatever is going to have the most light on it is going to be auto-focused in. And so the way he'll like frame a shot is just showing you that, like, I don't know, it felt like a call to arms. Like, I'm sitting there during the pandemic watching this movie. I'm like, why can't I can do this? Like you know what I mean? Like, it's one of those things where it's like you can't complain that you don't have enough. Like a crappy digital camcorder, you can do something kind of cool with it. So I actually really like this movie. The first time I saw it, I was confused. It felt like a series of short films that had kind of been put together, and then like a narrative kind of connects them. But Laura Dern is, of course, excellent in it. But what happened last year in 2022, they had actually done, Janus Films had done a remaster on Inland Empire. And I thought, how? It's shot on digital video. Like, you can't exactly upscale that. Mm-hmm. And I guess what they had done is they had used some kind of AI where they increased the pixel number, sort of like, I want to say it's similar to like video interpolation, where you artificially add frames to make it look crappy on your TV. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. But it's like with pixels, where it's like you're increasing the pixel count just sort of based on what the image is. Apparently they use some kind of AI. I think that's how they did it. But David Lynch, I guess, gave the sign off on it for an old man who is, been making movies since the 70s. He's very open to new technology as a means of telling stories. And I think especially with Inland Empire, he kind of sees it as just this experimental piece that I guess you can keep experimenting new technology on. Mm-hmm. One thing I do actually really like about the look of the movie, digital video has like that noise, right? When it's like you get into lower lighting, that digital
fuzziness,
grainy, fuzzy. Yeah. What I like about the movie is how he almost uses that the way you would use film grain. So it's like you'll notice it, but it's not this overpowering, gross thing. It almost looks like it's a deliberate choice in certain scenes, which I found to be pretty compelling. But I went to the theater because the Inland Empire remaster got a theatrical release. And the second time I watched it, I saw it in a theater, and I liked it much more on the second viewing. It felt a lot less segmented to me. It felt a lot more coherent and cohesive. It is 3 hours, but the 3 hours went by much faster that time around. It's also the same screen I watched RRR on a few months later. So maybe that screen is just optimized for 3-hour movies for me. Cinema 21 in Portland, a great theater. Anyways, I got this, and I have not popped it in yet, but I do have a bone to pick with Criterion when it comes to this release. This is... What is it, DJ?
It's a standard jewel case, sir.
Yeah, every single David Lynch film, the Criterion Collection, has a digibook, or a digipack. My bad, a digipack.
Digipacks, looking nice.
Yeah, all of them. Eraserhead, Blue Velvet, The Elephant Man, Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, Mulholland Drive, one other one that I'm forgetting right now. But
even
this
the recent
one,
4K ones still got digipacks.
Yes, Lost Highway. That's the one. Yes, Lost Highway, when it got a 4K release, got one as well. And this is a standard Blu-ray. The remaster, I believe, was a 4K scan, but even the theatrical version was a 2K downgrade from the 4K master. So I guess this will probably look as good as what I saw in the theater when I pop it in. But come on. What's the deal? Why didn't I get a digipack?
That's
I
interesting.
need it.
I wonder if they just didn't think it would sell enough to make back the extra money that it would cost to make that.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a David Lynch thing, though. Like, those usually do pretty well for them.
Yeah, I don't know. They go all in on David Lynch.
Especially since this DVD has been out of print for a very long time. And like, this is like the first time this film has gotten like an in-print release in a very, very long time. I remember buying this for a pretty penny, back when I was in college. But it has all the same bonus features. So a lot of the davidlynch.com shorts, like I think Rabbits is in all of them, or on both of these releases. So I do want to keep this DVD because it is the original digital video. It's not remastered. This is the remaster. So
it looks different enough.
Yeah, and I think I do want to have that for the history of it. And it's like in the mood for love. I'll just buy the new Criterion and then keep both of them. Anyways, history lesson over.
No, that's cool. And I didn't know a lot about that. And I may be finally taking my Lynch plunge because the Criterion Channel just got a bunch of his films on there in a nice collection. And who knows? Maybe I'll finally make Connor happy and watch one. They don't have The Elephant Man, which I always said was going to be my first one that I was going to watch. So maybe I'll have to skip that one.
If you're going to watch Blue Velvet, that's a really good introduction, I think. Great movie.
I don't remember if that one was on there or not, but I'll take a look and I'll keep you posted.
I would just say, don't start with Inland Empire or Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. The interview in this is not from the book
Seth Rogen
Lynch on
film?
Lynch.
Oh yeah.
One of the jokes I have is that like I think I'm nearly complete. I nearly owned the complete book Lynch on Lynch, because for every release that Criterion does, the booklet, instead of being an essay about the film, it's just an excerpt from that novel about what movie it is. So like the Eraserhead release has the Eraserhead chapter from that book, and the same thing with The Elephant Man. Dune, the Arrow video release, also has that chapter release on Dune from that book in there. Blue Velvet has it. Wild at Heart I own in the Shout Factory, so they don't have a booklet, so I don't have that chapter. But Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me, Mulholland Drive, Lost, they all have that. Mm-hmm. And so I was expecting with Inland Empire, I guess I'll get the last chapter for Lynch on Lynch. But it's not actually that. It is an interview with David Lynch, but it's from the 2009 book David Lynch Interviews, edited by Barney. So
good old Barney.
Anyways, all right, finally.
All right, so this is the box set, right? This is the last thing?
This is the big one. This is the big one.
This is what this was like not planned, right? You told me you were just getting like 3 little things, and then like you texted me later and like, okay, I got a box set. Was this a different shipment or was it all in one? Did you have a last minute gut reaction?
Oh, no, this was a different shipment. And I'm glad.
You went back. Oh, okay. That's what I thought.
See, and it's good I did this because they sent us in a UPS box that was like sized for this.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, Criterion, not good at shipping. That's the one bone I have to pick with them. They just shove it in a box and they don't put any, like, they don't wrap it in bubble wrap, so the things are just bouncing around in there. Mm-hmm. Some of my stuff got damaged. Hopefully.
Yeah, my Carol Zeman set has a few nicks. It's because of the shipping. No. But
yeah, I might have to get to a point where I just buy the cases from them and not buy Digipacks or Eclipse, because I bought an Eclipse this time that came all smashed.
Oh, you sent me pictures. I can't bear to look at it. But every year, Criterion does like a big box set. In 2019, that was the Godzilla Showa era. 2018, it was like the Olympics box set.
Oh yeah, that was huge. This year it's Pasolini.
Yeah, dude, I'm gonna get that. That's awesome. I think I'm gonna get it. Yeah,
Pasolini 101. Which in my video about it, I said it was because it was kind of his first decade of making movies, but it's also a double entendre because it is the 101st year of his birth.
Oh,
which is really cool.
Pretty clever. That's cool.
Yeah, people pointed that out to me in the comments, so thanks for that.
2020, the big box set they released was the complete films of Agnes Varda.
You got it. There she is.
Yeah, there she is.
Look at that face. I always just think of that meme of Will from like season 4 of Stranger Things. Did you ever see that meme? Someone put his face on there because he has her exact haircut.
That's funny.
Put it on that box set. So I can't look at that box set without seeing him. They've ruined it for me.
Agnes Varda is one of those filmmakers that I've heard a decent amount about, like even kind of within international kind of art house, circles. It's a body of work that a lot of people are still trying to get around to, or people who intend to. Like Vagabond is considered one of like the big breakthrough world films of the 70s. But her work is just kind of multifaceted. She was like looking into it. She was always trying to find ways to basically use cinema, basically. Like she did like like art installations, like video art. She did documentaries. She did narrative feature films. And this is everything. Like it's all of it. And it has a box set. This box set's a lot like the Ingmar Bergman set, where it has its own curated selection by discs, and then the booklet comes with a piece about her, and then individual notes on the films, and then it has like a chronological order that you can watch them in, but it's arranged the way it is so that way you can get a decent amount of like her short films with feature films per disc, and they're themed. But I had no idea she was married to Jacques Demy for his last 2 years of life. That's
crazy. And they both have box sets. What a powerhouse couple. They both have box sets in the collection.
Yeah.
So is this like a complete box set? Because Demy's is not.
Yeah. So, by the way, if you're a fan of the Los Angeles Lakers, you'll kind of want this color scheme. The box just for the color scheme alone. But look inside that box.
Oh, it's like the Pasolini one, the Trilogy of Life when it goes inside. I love that. Their package design is so cool.
Yeah. But this is the booklet.
Whoa, that's huge.
Yeah, it is.
That might be second only to the Bergman booklet that comes with that.
It's like 200 pages. And then
that's awesome.
Yeah, I really like how they've laid it out. I could go through each individual film. I don't think I should because like that's insane. But as far as just like the narrative feature films go, the notable ones here are of course Le Point Courte. Oh, she's French by the way, so apologies. Cleo from 5 to 7, Les Bonheurs, Les Creatures, and then like Vagabond are kind of the big ones. But after Jacques Demy died, she basically spent the entire 90s grieving him, and did a lot of films about Jacques Demy. She did a documentary called The Young Girls Turn 25, which I guess is sort of about the young girls of Rochefort 25 years later. She made a sort of narrative feature film biopic about Jacques Demy, but just kind of used different names. But it's clear it's like The Fabelmans if someone else had made The Fabelmans. Yeah. Like if Kate Capshaw was a filmmaker and made, and Steven Spielberg died, and then she decided to make a movie called The Fabelmans, and it's clearly analogs for her late husband. So, and then once she got into like the new millennium, like she was making movies up till 2019, the year of her death. And like, I remember when Faces Places was like the documentary people thought were going to win Best Documentary that year, and then it didn't. But like that's here, and then her last this box set came out in 2020. It came out a year after she died. Like she was making up movies constantly. So a very fascinating figure that I want to dive into, like her body of work, because like it seems like she's like right up my alley. She's clearly a big fan of Ingmar Bergman. I checked and she is, but like her artistic sensibility seemed to kind of be in line with what Bergman was like. At least like maybe not in terms of like sorry to use maybe some pretentious words here, everybody, but like her ethos, but like her philosophy on making movies and cinema seems to be kind of in line with Bergman. So I loved watching through Bergman's box set. The Ingmar Bergman Cinema was one of the most rewarding and challenging journeys I ever made. I can't believe I did that in 29 days, but I don't imagine I'll be doing the same with this set.
Maybe spread Agnes out over a couple months or a year or a couple of years.
Yeah, but I think I'll really like this stuff. And I was always kind of meaning to get the Jacques Demy set.
You should. But it's gorgeous.
Now I kind of need to get it, I feel like, as a companion piece to this.
Yeah. No, it's awesome. It's such a cool set. And I still haven't even watched through all of that yet. I've seen a little over half of it. That's a pretty nice haul.
And that's it.
Hey, that's plenty. That's a big haul. I mean, 50% off, so it's not too bad.
Yeah. And they sent me a $10 off coupon beforehand, so that was kind of nice.
So you have to. You're obligated to pick up as much stuff as possible. No, that's cool, man. Thanks for sharing. And you've definitely given me some stuff to think about. I don't think, like you said, I'll start with Inland Empire, but maybe I'll get there eventually. And let me know how you enjoyed that box set, because that's another interesting one. I'm knocking off the box sets, but I still have a few more left. I still don't have the Godzilla one.
The Godzilla one's so nice. I've been watching through box sets. Like a couple years ago, I went through the entire Showa era set. Last year, I went through Ingmar Bergman Cinema and the Zatoichi set, which were awesome. And now it's Agnes Varda. I like making these plunges. Yeah,
it's fun jumping into them. I'm actually almost done with the Tati box set. I still have to get to Traffic and Parade and go back and watch Short of Fit, because I started with Monsieur Hulot's Holiday. But yeah, I've seen the 3 big Hulot films, and I'm loving doing that. I can't wait till you see more of that so we can talk about that too. But anyway, let's wrap up this video. People just wanted to see what you got. They don't want to see us rambling. We'll save that for another time. But thank you so much for sharing, and thank you guys so much for watching. Let us know in the comments down below what you think of Connor's picks and what you guys picked up in the sale. And we will definitely talk to you guys down there in the comments, and we'll see you very soon again in the next video.